Hello everyone, my name is Keely Miller and today my speech is on why rural living is better than urban living. Did you know that 4.2 million people every year die from polluted air in cities? One way that we can prevent this is having more people live rurally. In my opinion, rural living is much better than urban living. I have done a lot of research on this topic and I have many facts to back up my opinion. There are very many different opinions about which type of living is better, but in many ways, to me, rural living is much better. Rural living defined is when you live on a piece of land instead of next to urban areas. My first body point is about growing a family. And this is a huge part of living in the countryside because when you have little kids, it is much easier for them to be able to have room to run around and play outside when you're living in rural areas. Also, another factor that goes into this is in urban areas, you always have to be watching your kids because there's always busy roads right next to your house and you're always just around a bunch of people in the city. My second point is about having pets. It is much easier to have pets when you live in a rural area. This is because for example, if you have a dog, it is a lot better for most dogs to have lots of room to play outdoors and run around and just get their energy out. Also, you can take your dogs on walks in the countryside, and it is just a healthier environment for them. Also, if you would rather have bigger pets such as horses, cows, pigs, it is basically impossible to have them in urban areas. The next body point is living a healthier life. So it is much easier to live healthier in rural areas because, first of all, it is a lot easier to grow gardens. It is hard to maintain a garden in the city because you don't have that much of a backyard and you're exposing your plants to many polluted areas, as we talked about earlier. In the country, you can have lots more room for gardens and you can just plant healthy foods there. Another way it is easier to live healthier in the rural areas is because there is much more room for walking around, going on runs, just enjoying life out in the country. Then my last body point is having lots of privacy. I know many people are very social. I personally am a very social person and I love being around people, but it is so nice to be living in the country. You don't have to worry about other people's noise and you really can kind of just do your own thing because you don't have to worry about bothering other people. So the positives to living in the urban areas are that it makes it much easier to go, like, for example, grocery shopping or even out to eat. I know in the craziness of life, sometimes we all just need to settle down and eat out. And that is one positive about living in urban areas because you're much closer to lots of grocery stores and mini restaurants. As if you're in the rural areas, you're usually about 10 to 15 minutes from your local grocery store. So my conclusion is we will all live much happier lives when we are always enjoying the weather and sweet outdoors. In my opinion, all the positives in living in rural areas are worth the drive that you have to suffer of going to groceries and going to get food. And here is my works cited. Thank you all for listening.